Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a look at retirement, but maybe not just the kicking back part.
Right. We're exploring the idea of part-time work, not just for the income, which is important, of course, but also for staying engaged, finding purpose.
Exactly. And we're digging into a really great article from 60andMe. They have some fantastic ideas for people over 60 looking for, well, fun and practical part-time jobs.
Yeah, it's a really helpful piece. Our plan is to unpack those ideas, see what sparks interest for you listening.
What I like is the focus isn't just on any job, it's on fulfilling work, things you might actually enjoy.
Absolutely. It's about using your skills, maybe finding new passions, not just, punching a clock again. The variety in the article is pretty impressive.
It really is. They cover things like making and selling crafts, they call it, being a craftpreneur, to blogging, gardening, even seasonal work in cool places.
Lots to cover.
Okay, so let's jump right in. This craftpreneur idea. What's that all about?
Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Taking a craft you enjoy, maybe you knit or make soap or candles. The article mentions macrame, too.
Things people make by hand.
Exactly. And turning that hobby into a small business, selling your creations.
Which you could do locally, right? Like at craft fairs.
Definitely. That community connection is great. But the article also really highlights the online potential.
Ah, right. Places like Etsy.
Yeah. Or even setting up your own simple shop with something like Shopify. Suddenly, you're not just selling to your town. You could be selling to someone, across the globe.
Wow, that's quite a shift. Selling something you made yourself to someone anywhere.
It is. And think about the satisfaction there. It's not just the money, although that's nice. It's that sense of creating something people value, rediscovering a passion.
It combats that feeling some people get in retirement, like, what's my purpose now?
Precisely. And these platforms, like Etsy, they're designed to be fairly user-friendly to get started.
Okay, that's a really appealing start. Now, shifting gears a bit from physical crafts to digital words, blogging.
Yes. And this is interesting because, as the article points out, 60andMe itself kind of started like this. A personal project that grew.
That's a great example. So the idea is sharing your expertise, your life experience.
Passions, yeah. Building a little community online around a topic you know or care about. Think about all the knowledge retirees have stored up.
And you can potentially earn from it. How does that work?
Well, the article mentions a few ways. You can have advertising on your site, or maybe sell some related merchandise if that fits.
Okay.
Or something called affiliate marketing. The example they gave was photography. Say you blog about your photos, maybe you recommend a camera you use.
And if someone buys it through your link.
Exactly. You get a small commission. It's about providing value people trust.
It really feels like the internet has opened things up, hasn't it? You don't need a publisher to share your voice globally.
Totally democratized it. And if the tech side feels daunting, the article notes there are resources, like courses on Udemy, to help you learn the basics.
So it really makes you think, what knowledge or passion do you have that you could share?
It's a powerful question.
Okay, next. For those who prefer soil to screens, gardening for income.
Yes, for the green-thumbed folks out there.
Yeah.
And it's more than just selling a few extra tomatoes.
What kinds of things?
Well, the article suggests selling herbs fresh, dried, maybe even in little products like lavender pillows.
Oh, nice.
Or having garden sales for extra plants or veggies. Connecting with neighbors that way.
And farmers markets too, I suppose?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Bit more involved, maybe, setting up a stall. But there's a real demand for local, fresh stuff. And don't forget flowers. Selling bouquets, roses, wildflowers. Simple, beautiful.
There's something very grounded about that, isn't there? Nurturing something, seeing people enjoy it.
Very satisfying. A direct connection between your effort and the result.
Right. Okay, let's switch it up again. How about traveling a bit? Seasonal work.
This one sounds like fun. The idea is leveraging the flexibility retirement can offer. Maybe you don't want to be tied down year-round.
So working for a season somewhere interesting.
Exactly. Think about national parks needing help in the summer.
Oh, wow.
Or summer camps, dude ranches, vacation resorts during their busy times.
How do you find these jobs?
The article mentions coolworks.com. That site lists lots of seasonal jobs. And also something called the Experience Services Program for roles specifically in national parks.
Working in a national park. That sounds incredible.
Doesn't it? And a really key point they mentioned, sometimes these jobs come with housing.
Oh, free housing. That makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. Makes relocating for a few months much more feasible.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, have you ever dreamed of living somewhere scenic for a season? This could be the way.
Definitely food for thought. Okay, what about something maybe a bit more traditional, but with a twist? A shop assistant.
Yeah, but the article frames it nicely. Not just any shop, but maybe your favorite local bookstore or that coffee place you love.
Ah, so it's about the environment, the connection.
Right, enjoyment and community. Plus, some places, like Starbucks, they point out, offer actual benefits. Health insurance, free coffee.
Huh.
That's not insignificant.
And the social side, too. Chatting with people, being part of the local buzz.
Huge plus for many people. And don't forget seasonal hiring, extra help for the holidays, plus employee discounts.
Always a bonus.
And they slip in mystery shopping under this category, too. Getting paid to, well, shop and report back on the service. Flexible little side earner.
Interesting. Okay, now for the writers. Freelance writing. That sounds flexible.
Hugely flexible. Work from anywhere, set your own hours. The internet has been a game changer here.
Where do you find work?
Platforms like Upwork are mentioned, basically online marketplaces, connecting writers with projects, editing, all sorts.
And it's not just short articles, is it?
No, the article encourages thinking bigger, too. Maybe finally writing that novel or your memoir.
Self-publishing makes that possible now, right? Amazon and such.
Absolutely. It's much more accessible. They even recommend specific writing software like Scrivener for handling bigger projects. It shows this can be a serious, fulfilling path.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk about work focused more on meaning, perhaps. Nonprofit work.
Yes, this taps into that desire many have later in life to give back, to contribute to a cause they believe in.
To finding purpose beyond just a paycheck.
Exactly. The article suggests idealist.org as a good place to look for part-time nonprofit jobs. You can find organizations whose missions really align with your values.
And they had a smart tip about volunteering first.
Yeah, that's a great way in. Volunteer, get to know the organization, see if it's a fit. Sometimes that can lead directly to paid part-time work.
It's about finding that sense of satisfaction, isn't it? Contributing to something bigger.
For many, that's incredibly rewarding, maybe more so than the money itself.
Okay, now a field the article says is growing. Massage therapy.
That's right. Driven by, well, an aging population, but also just more awareness of the health benefits.
So there's demand.
Real demand. And it offers flexibility. You can often set your own hours, work in spas, clinics, wellness centers, even on cruise ships, they mention.
Do you need a lot of training?
You need certification, yes. But the article suggests checking the massage therapy license website for requirements in your area, implying the path isn't always overly burdensome.
It's interesting how health and wellness trends create these kinds of opportunities.
It really is a sign of the times.
All right, nearly there. What about leveraging, well, maybe skills in beauty? Makeup artists.
Yeah, this is a great one for taking existing skills and turning them into income. If you've always had a knack for makeup.
You could work from home?
Potentially, yes. Or meet new people, help them feel good. The article suggests volunteering for maybe retirement homes, theaters, hospitals to build experience and give back.
And there are retail opportunities too, right? Makeup counters?
Sure. And also the whole online world, makeup tutorials, vlogging. They mentioned Hotan Flashy as an example of someone reaching a big audience online later in life.
The beauty industry has really changed with online platforms.
Absolutely. It's not just salons anymore.
Okay, and finally, they just briefly listed a few other quick ideas.
Right. A few more fun ones. Personal assistant helping with tasks, maybe companionship.
Teaching or tutoring, sharing knowledge.
Even online. Teaching English conversation globally via platforms like Cambly.
For animal lovers.
Pet sitting, dog walking, using apps like Rover or Wag to connect with owners. Good exercise too.
Definitely. And lastly, driving.
Yeah, using your car.
Yeah.
Ride sharing like Uber or Lyft, if that appeals.
Yeah.
So a real mix.
It really is.
Yeah.
Wow. When you lay it all out like that, based on the 16Me article, the possibilities for part-time work and retirement seem, wow, much more varied and interesting than you might think.
Absolutely. It's not just about needing income, though that can be part of it.
Okay.
It's about engagement, purpose, maybe even fun.
It really feels like retirement can be a time for reinvention, for following passions in a new way.
That's the key takeaway, I think. Work doesn't have to be a grind. It can be stimulating, social, fulfilling.
So thinking about all these different avenues, the creative, the digital, the outdoorsy, the caring roles, it really makes you wonder.
Yeah.
For you listening, considering your own skills, your interests, what actually brings you joy, what kind of fulfilling part-time work could you imagine for yourself in retirement?
That's the big question to ponder, isn't it? Lots of possibilities to explore.